What is going on, YouTube? And welcome back to our channel. You are on Let's Talk with
Sheila
and Jordan J. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us again this week with another episode of Ready to Love Reunion Part 2. Okay, we are finally here. This is the end of this season with this group of individuals.
Right. Ready to love. The couples have gone through their, what we should say, the 6 weeks of getting to know each other. And now after 8 weeks... They've decided who they are ready to love.
And if they stuck together, of course, which we did kind of see on the first episode, that it does look like whoever left with each other did end up with each other in the end. It didn't look like there was any breakups. Or
no, it didn't. No. They look like everybody looks like they're going strong.
Right. So this episode, it was not as interesting as the first one.
No, it wasn't.
Kind of was a little bit of a letdown. We could see from a lot of you guys' reactions.
A little bit boring.
Exactly. Not what we kind of expected, but... You know, it wasn't a lot of entertainment outside of Camille and her antics.
And Cornelius. You're right about that.
Her antics. But let's go ahead and get started. We did start off the segment this time on Walter and Sabrina. And as you know, Sabrina left Walter.
Dated a friendship almost instant. I knew exactly what I wanted. It was you. I choose you.
Throughout this process, you have always been my number one. But you always made me feel like number two. Yeah, at this point, I think that our journey should end here.
Walter was still confused as to why Sabrina left and did not want to continue on this because apparently they had a pact or some sort of deal.
Well, I mean, that's what he's alluding to, that maybe there was some kind of pact between him and Sabrina as far as they're going to ride it out to the end. Mm-hmm. But since this has happened, I've seen Sabrina on a few interviews, and Sabrina has said absolutely not. There was no pact for her. And she said, what did she gain out of that? What's the pact? It's not like you win any money. You don't win a grand trip anywhere. You don't win any money. Nobody's giving you a down payment on a new home for you and your to-be, the couple, the ready to love couple. So she's like, why would I make a pact? Like, it's why? And it does make a little sense. So Walter, are you sure there was a real pact between you and Sabrina? Because Sabrina clearly doesn't remember any of that. Yeah. And Walter clearly was very upset.
You can see by the look on his face. Like, you know, this man still does not understand what happened. You know, we just talked and you didn't bring any of this up. So I guess he felt she should have told him before he came with a bouquet and got egg on his face and she went on choosing. But why would she do that? You know? Like, why? Like,
and from what Sabrina said, she hadn't heard from Walter since she met his family, his auntie and sister. She hadn't heard anything. And that was one of the big problems this whole entire time. Walter was just not really consistent with his communication. Mm-hmm. I mean, a day and maybe not hear from him for maybe a week. You know, and then on the other side, Walter's saying that they had 2 dates per week. So he felt like that was a lot of contact between him and Sabrina because they did have dates that was set up through the production company. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess you got apples and oranges. You got, Sabrina feeling like she wasn't being attended to or courted. Yeah. And Walter feels like, if I had known you wanted me to court or do more, you should have told me. Yeah. So
just do it anyway.
Exactly, Walter.
Just do it anyway.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we just got a player who got played and he just in his feelings. Walter, are you in your feelings?
That's it. And Sabrina, she did allude to, not being young enough for Walter.
Ooh,
which
she did say that.
did. She definitely hinted at, not hinted. She said it. It wasn't a hint. She said it.
And what did Walter say?
Hey, that wasn't the case. But, from track record, we do know that he goes after younger women, which he did explain because he wants kids. So
because he wants children.
Fine. We'll leave it at that. They didn't end up together. It is what it is. They did hug it out at the end. So I guess there's no hard feelings there. So let's go on, move on to the next segment, which was Courtney and Cornelius. They went kind of back to them a little bit again.
Yeah, they did.
And they showed Courtney's aggressive manner at, not waiting. My girl, she was not waiting.
He has sex with me before marriage. That's all I'm saying. I'm not waiting.
To have, the goods.
And you see how nervous Cornelius looked when they were on the date. I was like, Cornelius, stop it.
Yes, like this woman was just trying to come and take all his innocence.
Yeah, that's what he act like. He's just so pure. I'm just a pure blood.
Exactly.
What did she do it to me? And why? I want to be committed. Only. Well, I'm not even gonna go there with Cornelius because from my understanding,
that's a whole nother video.
In 2020, you was not abstinent then. But anyway,
that's a whole other video. So.
But anyway, so Courtney pretty much just said that she just was not willing to wait. That's just something that, and she said it's about preference. He has his preference, she has her preference, and her preference was not to wait for 2 years or any amount of time.
It's gonna take for you to propose.
Exactly. Before she sees, what's going on. So,
but again, it looked like that's another one. No hard feelings.
No hard feelings. No, she didn't have any.
Great.
She's like,
I love to see it. With no arguments or bickering over a man that don't want you.
So moving right along, we're
gonna actually go to Cory. We finally get to see Cory and Tisia, and what in the world's up with those tears, y'all? Did you see the tears?
Oh my God.
Was it acting?
Cory can turn them on and off really quick. Yeah, I think Courtney. Cory was definitely acting.
His heart's been raised. It's like that. I don't know why I do these things. Why I go up beyond. It's like a drug. It feels so good. And I don't know. I just tried too hard. And I just hit for a second. Sorry. I never thought about it.
And anyway, what was he crying about?
Because
he loves so hard and he's looking for the kind of love his mama and daddy have and the way his daddy touches his mom. Cory, seriously? You look like he was auditioning for a part. That's what you look like. And if you was auditioning for a part, you wouldn't have gotten it, Cory, because those tears look faked and you look faked in whatever you was trying to come across to us. It didn't look real. So
but we see Camille and Sabrina actually, surprisingly, Sabrina took up for Cory and said,
Sabrina did. She did.
Cornelius
I was surprised.
Very real. I know, and I didn't think Sabrina and Cornelius.
Well, she just said, I think after the fact they've gotten to know each other, and she just kind of says, Cory just don't think like we do. The way that he processes stuff is different. I can completely agree with that. I don't know how he processed anything, but I can tell it is different than everybody else how we process stuff. So yeah, I could definitely see Cory.
Yeah, but and I'm sorry. Like I know he was hurt and he just can't understand why nobody wants to love him this way. But if you see after all these 40 years, however long years you've been dating, that this is just not working out. You putting your everything and then repeating that same everything into woman after woman after woman.
Well, copy and paste.
Yeah, you gotta change your approach to
copy
something.
And paste.
I don't think it's that you love too much. Cory. I just don't.
Or is that he just loved too hard?
You ain't getting what you putting out there. I think you just playing games for real with multiple people, and
but he did apologize. But he did apologize for his ways, and if he offended anybody. So Cory, you did apologize. But one thing who later on was sitting side of Tisia, I don't think she was accepting his apologies because Tisia said that was
a shocker.
Yeah, well, it was very interesting.
But I always thought what did happen to them after that date, the elimination date. I always wondered because he did seem interested in her, and they just never show them again, like
again.
together. It was just Tisia and Phil, like that's her only connection. They did not show that Tisia and Cory had, you know, a growing relationship, and that she
and what did Tisia say? That she was. It wasn't just a. It wasn't just something between Mumen, Cory.
She was also
Courtney,
a part of that.
She was a part of that triangle. Yeah, she said, but it was just left off.
Yeah, it was.
And for some reason, why? And she was getting the same messages from Cory. She was talking about meeting my parents and
you're my number
one.
Yeah,
you're my number one. So Cory had 3 women that he was doing the same thing to.
Yeah, this is why we say it's a problem, Cory. So when you start talking and crying about you just don't know why you do these things, maybe you need therapy. Why do you do these things, Cory?
Yeah, maybe you should start as a therapist and speak to them
things?
about why you do these things.
Yeah,
because I don't think anybody knows.
Nobody can know why unless you go and you talk to a professional and figure it out yourself. Right. You got to do the work.
Right.
So.
But also,
I wish.
go ahead.
No, because I was about to go into the next one. So if you had,
no, that's fine.
You sure you don't want to say nothing else to Cory? Okay.
I wish you luck, Cory.
Yes, of course. So let's go on to the next segment, which was yes, Dante and Zadia.
Ooh.
That was okay. Like I said, this whole episode, part 2, wasn't that interesting. So this segment
it was not
interesting.
It wasn't interesting.
They did, you know, the whole playback of Zadia getting in Dante's face and how she was going after Dante because he's a fun guy. Whatever that means. I don't know if he was trying to insult and compliment at the same time, but he was a fun guy, and that's not what you needed. And you're so glad you were able to do a 180. You were able to.
You stopped. Not Dante moved on with Aisha. No, that wasn't the case. Zalia, you stopped it. And you moved on.
Okay. That you're able
if that's your story, then hey, stick to it, boo. Stick to your story. That's what I say. Stick to your story.
Did you notice Naeem looking over at Zadia?
And then his whole energy, his whole face, he didn't smile. He was just so serious the whole night. He didn't look like he was enjoying it. Naeem, was you enjoying yourself that night? Because you didn't look like you were enjoying the reunion. No, you didn't. And you kept looking at Zadia as if you were trying to figure out what she was thinking or reading her face or reading her energy. If you all are together, you could have just reached over there and just whispered in her ear and said something to her. I'm sure she would have told
no affection
you.
Between
none.
Two.
But supposedly they're together.
Well, they came matching. We know they came matching, but that's about the only connection that I saw.
No, because Zadia, you were beautiful. Naeem, you look handsome as ever. But she was just smiling and just, you know what I'm saying? Seemed like she was trying to be as light as she could be. But Naeem was like...
Yeah, he was...
I was like, Naeem, you're too handsome to be looking like that. So Naeem, I'm going to need you to smile the next time you're on TV. Interviewing or talking about anything. Let me see that pretty smile, okay, Naeem?
But they were the only one that was kind of looking a little funny during Dante's segment when Aisha kind of got introduced and their connection. It looked like, I don't know about y'all, but if y'all caught Camille and Cornelius, you know, looking very disinterested in the whole show, like up to that point, at least up to that point where it was just like, I could care less about their connection and, you know, how they fare. And it's like, y'all hating? Now that looked like hate. Like,
so what do you think about
body language hate?
What do you think about Dante and Aisha's segment as far as,
nice.
You know?
I thought it was nice. I mean, looked like they like each other a lot. Looked like they do look a great match for each other as far as they got a lot in common, and it looks like they want to take on the roles that each other want to place upon. Yeah. So,
and they did ask Aisha, have you cooked for Dante? And everybody just started smiling, and she started smiling. And the reason why everybody's smiling, because she told him in one of the scenes that she would cook for him in her lingerie. And so now everybody wants to know, Aisha, did you cook yet for Dante? So anyway, it's just us being nosy, that's all. But no, they look like they're a really cute couple. I think one of the things that Aisha said, she said she's been married before, so she wants Dante to take his time. She wants to make sure that Dante is ready for marriage whenever the time comes, and then together they would be ready to love and marry one another. So that's something that Aisha was saying. So she's definitely not pressing Dante to move forward or anything. So Dante, you all enjoy yourself. Enjoy your relationship. You don't have to get married right away. Enjoy.
Yeah. So that was actually pretty much the gist of
That's
reunion 2. I hope they do like a Where Are You Now or Where Are They Now in like a
6
year or
months.
something.
Yeah.
That way we can see, did these relationships fare out, but I don't know. They haven't done it yet, so
No, it hasn't been done.
Probably not. Just wishing upon a star right about now.
Well, next week,
yes, we are going to be back again.
We'll be back
with another Ready to Love season and back in DC again.
Yes.
I guess it was a great, networking opportunity for the OWN channel because they stayed.
Yes. So we're going to
love
see.
is thriving there, or maybe not thriving there.
So next week, stay tuned. Come back to see
back.
us. We'll be back with Ready to Love DC.
And